Hello and welcome to CFV Price's Aqua deck profile. It is made from two of the trial decks. These are only sleeves, so it's probably slippy around. It's not as perfect as I'd like it. I mean, obviously, ideally I'd have 4 Naval Gazer, 4 Algos, like a few other things, but it's getting there. I've had one proper fight with it. It was against MLB 3 times. I did end up losing twice because it's a new deck for me. I'm still getting used to it all. But I did win once, which I was very happy with. It was a very good game. Like, no one was grade screwed. Pulled off MLB a couple of times, but it was just the pressure from Naval Gazer. All running very well. So, grade 0. Officer Cadet of the first battle. Generic starter. I run, if you've seen trigger lineup for other Aqua decks in the English format, they'll all be the same, because it's only been a trial deck released. But 4 heal triggers, Medical Officer of the Rainbow Elixir, 4 Battleship Intelligence, crit trigger, and then 4 Dolphin of High Speed Raids, and then 4 Pyroxene, I think I pronounced that right, Pyroxene Communications Sea Otter Soldier. That's it for grade 0s. When set 8 comes out, I don't know what I'm going to do with the trigger lineup, because I've heard a lot of people say, oh, run like 8 stands, but I did that with Dimension Police for a long time, and I didn't... It's not I didn't like it, like it worked quite well, like Miracle Beauty and everything, but I put crits back in, and I found it flowed a lot better. But I think that would be different with Aqua Force, so I'd definitely try it. If I had someone say try 8 crits, 8 stands, just go completely aggressive, so I think I'll try that for a while. On to grade 1s. 3 Battle Siren Dorothea. I keep saying Battle Sister. 2 of the shiny one. I did run 2. I normally only run 2 with a 10k booster, because it can only boost the Vanguard. But I thought, well, a 6k boost to Rayguard isn't bad, it can hit things then. Pretty much anything boosted by 6k can hit something, unless it's like in the main or something like that. And I found with 2 I just wasn't drawing it enough. I want to increase my chances of getting it, because with it, Naval Gazer becomes a really big threat. It becomes a lot harder to guard, or more likely to no guard. So 3 for now. Even if I find I'm not drawing it enough, I might take up to 4, because I think it's that essential. New sleeves are falling everywhere. I run 2 Splash Assault. This is kind of like the Aqua Force version of Battle Sister Maple, in the way that it's the 9k grade 1 hitter. And it's, when it's unit attacked, if you have an Aqua Force Vanguard, and it's the 3rd battle or more that turn, it gets +3 when it attacks. It's a shame it's not when it boosts, because that'd be very good, but there's other things for that. Although I think I said that on the unboxing anyway. But, yeah, I kind of prefer to stand, instead of standing a column with Naval Gazer, I'll stand 2 front row Ray Guards. That way I can take out 2 separate things, whether it's attack at the Vanguard, attack on an intercept or a powerful attacker or something, just so it gives a bit more variety, and 9k can make that happen a bit better. I run 2 Battle Siren Cynthia. She's your AMO clone drop draw when she boosts and hits. I'm thinking of running maybe more, maybe 3 in total. But I don't know what I'd take out for it. But it's very helpful. Although, to be honest, with this deck, I kind of find that I'm running out of hand quite a lot of the time, so I never really get to use the skill much. Controversially, I do run 2 Accelerated Command. Now, these clones I'm not a big fan of. The ones where it's give something +2, but I think for Aqua Force it runs very, very well, because if I play it, and I give, say, Splash Assault, even not Assault, +2k, it can hit for 11k then, and that's going to hit a lot. And same with my Vanguard. If Naval Gazer is Limit Break, and I give it +2, it hits 28k if boosted by Dorothea. And that's perfect for cross rides, so I think it might work quite well in this deck. And it has worked a little bit so far. I run 2 Tier Knight Cypress. It's just 2 for now. It's counter +1 +1k. I will probably run more when set 8 comes out with Maelstrom. Just these like where it's not as heavy counterblasting, because that way I can put them on a front row and kill off some interceptors and stuff. But it's just 2 for now. I did run 3, but now it's just down to 2. And then 4 tier Knight Theo. So I just love the card art, it looks really, really cool. But also 8k beaters are kind of important in this deck. And the boosts. Onto grade 2s. 3 Coral Assault. I find him very helpful. He it was unfortunate that I went against MLB because obviously that's a 12k Vanguard, and it meant this 11k was kind of a bit pointless, but I can attack Ray Guards with it. I can normally attack the Vanguard. I mean, only Crossfight and MLB pose, and they're grade 4, Great Nature, which you can't use anymore anyway. They only pose a threat to this card. Other than that, it hits most things. So with Stand Triggers and Naval Gazer, it works very, very well. So I always... This is like Hexcannon Wyvern, Gigantic Commander, on Myoji of the Moonlit Knight, I think it's called. That sort of clone where again it's an 11k grade 2 hitter. And I always run 3 of those, most of the time anyway. I run 2 Titan of the Infinite Trench. I normally run... With trial decks, I kind of run 4 of these because of no perfect guards. You're lacking on just shield, basically. But I find with this deck it works a little bit better to go aggressively. Like, with Naval Gazer, great, if I have these 2 on intercept, then that's 20k shield. But if I stand them, it's not really going to hit much on its own, so I've got to stand the column. But I'd rather have... These are just sort of like, if necessary. If I'm running low on hand, I can play them down. It counts as a 10k shield, so... It's kind of like emergencies. One of my favourite cards in the deck, Algos. Very, very nice card art. Very sort of like clear quality. Marine General of the Restless Tides. He 9k grade 2, so that's always quite good. If it's a 4th or more battle and it hits a Vanguard, draw a card for no cost. So can't go wrong. As far as I'm aware, the only ways you can stand him again for that 4th attack are Naval Gazer's Limit Break and a Stand Trigger. Pretty sure that's the only way you're going to get... Only with... I mean, obviously with Basil and everything, you're going to get 4th attack easy. But for now, it's kind of tricky with the trial deck. But I run 2 of him. I probably... Ideally, out of the trial decks, I might just... I would have probably run 4. I'd probably replace these 2 with another one of him. I'm considering replacing those 2 with another one of him. So, but we'll see. We'll do some testing. But yeah, run 2 of Algos, and then pretty much staple in the trial deck 4 Lazarus, 10k beta. Very helpful for Naval Gazer. Now, if you don't really know Aqua that well, and you've heard me say its name quite a lot, this is Naval Gazer Dragon. I only have 2 because I bought 2 trial decks. I'm wanting 4, obviously. It's a very good card in my opinion, very, very good. It's, even if you don't get the skill off, which is like, yeah, you can just perfect guard it, you just force to perfect, like, this is such a good pressure card. If it's, you can't, sometimes it focuses, sometimes it doesn't, but there you can kind of see that a bit better. When it attacks, if it's the 3rd or more battle, it gets 3k. And then, until the end of turn, this is its limit break now, limit break 4, counts plus 2, and then until the end of turn, it gets another 3k, and a skill of, when it hits a Vanguard, stand 2 Ray Guards. So say I've got that there, and then I'll just demonstrate with this setup. So I've 1 attack, 2nd attack, and then I've gone for my 3rd. I hit 16 on its own. The attack goes through. I can either stand for a powerful column at the Vanguard, or what I tend to do is stand both the front row and then attack separately. So that's 5 attacks in 1 turn. So, yeah. And obviously with cards like Algos, Maelstrom, Naval Gazer, I suppose, what else is there? Hydro Hurricane Dragon, I think Tri-Stinger Dragon, they all benefit from having a 3rd or 4th more attack. It kind of changes when set 11 comes around. It's more about how many are rested. Like, last card, Revan, which I really want to run. So, yep, Naval Gazer Dragon. The grade 3 lineup is something I'm a bit like, oh, about because I don't like running Rearguard grade 3s. So I run 3 Marine General of Full Tides Xenophone, Nano Clone for Aqua Force, gains plus 3k on Vanguard, 1k on Rearguard when it's the 3rd or more attack. So it's kind of like a backup, in my opinion, to Naval Gazer. But if I had Cynthia Say and I had that in my hand, but like another one, so I've got at least 1 grade 3, I'll drop it, try and draw Naval Gazer. But yeah, I run that, and then I run 2 Kienka David. I call him David because it sounds like David. Eventually, ideally, I'd have, say, like 4 Naval Gazer, and then like probably 3 of him. But really, I only like to run Vanguard grade 3s. So 8 Naval Gazer would be pretty nice. But like I say, that's my backup one. That's just in place for the Vanguard. This is my Rearguard hitter. And at worst on Vanguard, it can hit like 20 with Dorothea. But yep, that's my Aqua Force deck. I'd very much like to hear what people think of it, because I'm not too sure on it at the moment. Like it's all very, very new. It only came out like a few hours ago. But yeah, please let me know if you've got any like suggestions I can make to it. I've got 2 trial decks, so I can edit it with twice, like all the cards times 2 you get in a trial deck. And thank you for watching.